that is a help. You are doing good to them. But if that were the real good in life, then all the multi-millionaires should be happy. They can be more stressed than people living in India and having no roof on their heads. Then you can give a person help with your kind words. People who are sick or people who are depressed. That's a better charity. A better help you can give. And higher than that is spiritual help. What is that? If you can inspire a person to experience true peace and happiness in life, in spite of all the odds that we have to face from time to time. The storms of life, the ups and downs of life will be there where they are, but a person will know how to be able to live in a peaceful, balanced way, which we are going to talk about in this talk on harmony and duty. So obviously you will agree with me that that help, which will get a person to a state of peace and happiness, in the face of all the odds he has to go through, that's the highest help, and that help you can only give another person when you have it yourself. That's why it says, first self-changing, then world-changing. That's the way we can go about it better. Another philosopher came up with a suggestion that each person has a conscience. You heard of this word? Conscience? Your conscience is the best guide to tell you what is right and wrong. If that is the truth, if conscience were to be the best guide, then tell me why some people are doing all the wrong things in the world and there are some people who are doing good. People are stealing, people are murdering. What's happening in the world? And at the same time, there are some people who are doing good. What's happened to the conscience of these people who are going around doing such bad things in the world? Where has their conscience gone? Don't they have a conscience? Of course they have. But the conscience of a person, you have to analyze how it works. The first time a person steals, something pricks. That's not right. The first time you lie, then there is something that pricks you inside. And then you do it the second time, and you do it the third time, and you do it the fourth time, and you become habituated to it, and the conscience starts pricking you. So the conscience does not remain the same at all. What happens to a thief's conscience? So it is obvious that conscience is not the right guide because, you know, your mind keeps changing. It goes through a lot of fluctuation due to association, circumstances. So how can that be your guide? The scriptures alone are the guide. It says, Shruti Smriti Salachara Yasya Chapriyamatmani. That which goes according to your conscience and pleases you should be in accordance to what the scriptures tell you as the codes of law. There are specified codes of law, and what you do should be according to that. Shruti Smriti Mamaivagye Yasa Ullangya Vartate, Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Smriti that these scriptures contain a general code of conduct, what is right, what is wrong. You heard of the words dharma and adharma, right and wrong. So these codes of conduct are listed there and one should follow them. So if your conscience is in accordance to what the scriptures are saying, then that is the right thing. Now, as far as the codes of conduct, the duties, the dharma that is specified in the scriptures, do you know that the foundation of Sanatana Dharma, the Vedas, they contain 80,000 hymns about all the do's and do nots. What we are expected to do and what we are not expected to do. I'm sure you don't even know 80 of them. It's extremely difficult and confusing. And you'll say, this is not my cup of tea. Well, if you say it's not your cup of tea, that's not going to be the solution. You're still governed by those laws. Just as when you're living in England, you are governed by the laws of the country. Even though you may be ignorant about them and you say, I don't care. That's not going to help, is it? So don't worry about that. Today we are going to consider a very simplified classification of all these duties that have been specified by the scriptures. And you will be able to understand them without any confusion in future. All these multifarious duties that you hear about, they can be broadly classified into just two categories. Only two. Why only two? Because our life, our existence itself can be divided into two categories. What are these categories? One is the material and the second is spiritual. Now when we talk about the spiritual, lots of people, they ask a question, well, is that aspect of our life indispensable or is it optional? Most people consider it optional. I believe, I don't have any belief. Or some people even condemn those people who waste their time in spirituality. But that's where we are sadly mistaken and ignorant. A bird flies on two wings. If you cut off one wing, what's going to happen? The bird will fall to the earth. No matter how strong the other wing is, it cannot fly on one wing. In the same way, in our life, we also have two wings. One is the material and the spiritual. When we talk about the man, it refers to two things. One is this body that we are aware of. That's what the whole life is centered around. Body conscious existence, that's what it is today. And there is another part of you which is keeping this body alive from head to toe. The energy spark. There is something inside there. That is referred to as soul or Atma, or you call it an energy. Now, unless and until we accept both these aspects of our life, we can never achieve a fully productive and happy life.